Hey y'all, it's Lou Taylor here, and on today's episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about singleness. And to remind you guys, being single does not mean being lonely. All right? So let's get into it. Don't ever forget it. Just because you see somebody that's on their own or always standoffish does not mean that they don't want love. One thing that I have grown up to be is very independent. And I'll share my backstory of how I've become who I am later in life. But for the time being, with all that I've gone through, I've felt the need to be independent and to supply for myself because nobody else will. And if nobody else cares for you, then all you got is you. And not to say that that's a bad mentality, but that's a wrong perspective in some aspects. I am a firm believer of self care, self love, and not to take on abuse and all that great stuff. But within singleness, there's times where you can get into a survival mode of you against the world. And sometimes it's not necessarily the world is against you, it's just the lens that you see. And for the longest time, I have seen through that lens to where I felt in my singleness, I had to fend for myself, defend for myself, provide for myself, do by myself, and all that stuff. And I had moments of frustration and times where I denied help because I didn't know how, or I didn't trust anybody because it was hard. My trust had been broken at a very young age. So to trust friends and strangers and whatever the case was, and certain things, like it was not innate for me. It wasn't something that was comfortable, and it still at times is very hard to do so wholeheartedly. But I do think there is a blessing in being single, um, and being purposeful, because singleness is a gift. Granted, I love companionship and I enjoy community and all that stuff, but I do think in being single, and I'm talking romantically, okay? But learning the ability to learn yourself without having, I don't want to say baggage, but learning yourself without having to cater to another person in that same time and in that same space is so freeing. You have the space to air your baggage, see your baggage, and address your baggage without adding somebody else into the mix where it might be more chaotic. So while I've been single for a pretty long time. And I've been okay with it because one, I'm not gonna play with no boys. I ain't got time for mess. Like that's just not me. My personality, I'm not a dominant person, but as far as personality, I can be quite dominating. So I know somewhat of the type of man that I would need to have around for me to tone it down. In this time, it's been a blessing because I'm able to go to therapy and work on traumas and triggers and things of my past that have affected how I respond and react and do life with people. And quite frankly, some things I didn't know I was dealing with or were issues until I went to counseling, or even just within community of learning people and how to interact with people. So I've learned quite a bit during this journey, as I'm still single, during this journey of being single. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times where I do want companionship and to, cuddle, because I'm a cuddler. I love just hugs and cuddling. That's just me. I always joke with a friend of mine. I'm a soft G, so I'm tough. I feel like I'm tough, like don't play me, don't mess with me, whoop the whoop the whoop. But at the end of the day, with the right person, like I already know I'm a softie. So like I'm not always gonna be hard, and I don't want to always be hard. So I consider myself a soft G because I'm still a G. Don't get it twisted, okay? That's so corny. I've here and there have experienced loneliness while being single. And it's more so I feel it's like that mentality where you kind of get more into yourself, as in thinking like I have nobody to be around or lay up next to and just cuddle with and share all my deepest desires and just a safe place. And granted, that might be factual, but sometimes with those thoughts, it can take you in a negative direction versus it being any having any positive effect. Mind you, I'm not a counselor. I'm just sharing my thoughts regarding the matter and my own personal experiences within singleness. The things that I've been doing while it being single, I get to work on me without any distractions. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna take on a date if that person is like a legit candidate. If so, then yeah, I'm gonna take it. But if I just know, like, honey, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna waste my time, and I'm not gonna waste yours. But nonetheless, I get to work on me and focus on me and building my empire with what I want to do, how I want to do it. And then when that person comes along, we're able to join in together and do what we get to do along with what we've already built on our own. Another thing is, I get to eliminate as much baggage as I possibly can. Now, I know as well that some things don't come off, or some things you don't learn about until you're in a relationship, which is natural. Like, you might not know that you have anxiety issues or insecurity issues of some sort. I don't know, I'm just naming something. Until being in a relationship, but in your singleness, you never had that problem. So there's some things you can eliminate and other things you can't. But why not tackle on the things that you can and the things that you are aware of? Because who's perfect? A lot of people have grown up in broken homes or had experiences that in a traumatic way affected their perspective and view of life and how they operate. And so why not take on that time to say, hey, this is probably not the best way to process what I'm processing and how I've been doing it. Or there's certain cycles that keep happening that are not good for me or are not beneficial, or that just take me down this whirlwind of trouble and heartache. Like, something needs to be fixed. So why not take this time now and go fix it or figure it out? That way you can be on your own journey of healing and being completely whole yourself, not for them, whoever you're going to be with, but for you, because you matter. You're important. You have to live with you. You have to love you, and you have to be happy, because those other people cannot make you happy. Another thing, you get to do what you want to do. Like, if I want to go travel, I'm very sporadic. I'm gonna go travel. If I want to go drive to Atlanta or go skiing tomorrow, I can just up and leave and pack and all that stuff. I don't have to necessarily communicate. I mean, I do for safety, like, hey, so and so, I'm going here. That way, if something happens, they know. But for the most part, I'm free to just go anywhere I want to. So I choose. Now, I'm not saying I go crazy, stupid places. Like, I'm not irresponsible, but I'm just saying. Another thing, you could take more risks and discover you with no present interference, I guess. So when I say that, like, sometimes when you have a family, there's certain risks you cannot take because you have more on the table versus when you were single, whether it be financially or traveling. I don't know, whatever it is. But in being single, like, you can take on more calculated risks. So with me, like, I can be a little bit more freeing with my money. So I'm more riskier when it comes to stocks because, one, I'm young. Two, I'm not necessarily having to uphold a family right now. So I'm able to kind of be I'm able to be more riskier in my stance with money and investing. Now, when my man comes along and all that stuff, we'll go through all that together. But for the time being, Lou and her advisor is going to do what Lou and her advisor suggests with future goals in mind. And then lastly, like, you can have fun. I have found it to be fun. Learn to have fun. Learn to love you. Like, find out what makes you happy. What adventures do you have to take? What things have you yet to do that you want to do? Now, don't get me wrong. There's also things that I would love to do with my partner, my husband, my man. And I still plan to do that. But until then, I'm not going to withhold fun activities and different things from me. Like, I'm not. I'm going to enjoy my life the best way I can. And when he comes along, he gets to join me and I get to join him in that journey. So, my dating life, I have always dated to marry. That has been like subconsciously, it's just been in me. So I'm not into just dating to date and let's get out. That's a lie. I think maybe one. Nope, I'm not lying. Yeah, that is. I don't want to lie to y'all. I had to think about that one. I did have one instance where I don't know what I was thinking. Nonetheless, I do want to date and have dated to marry. Like, if I cannot potentially see me with you in the long run, I more than likely am not going to go out with you, no matter how good you look. I've always cared for dating to marry. I'm also cognizant of, the person being a distraction or my destination. Like, if you are causing me to get off the path that I'm needing to take for in my life with where I'm needing to go, with where God has called me to, if you are a distraction in any sense, you got to go. That's ultimately where I'm gunning for, where my focus is. So normally, if I am dating, that's one ways that I can kind of gauge if a person is, someone that I'm supposed to be with by seeing, are they my distraction or my destination? That's important. Consider what God's thoughts were, for you. He knows what's better. And I had to come to that understanding because granted there's times where I feel like I know me and I know what I need, but there's so many things I don't know what I need. Or what I think I might need is not really what I need. That's just what I want. And it's not what I need. Because those two can be sometimes the same thing and sometimes complete opposites. And at the end of the day, I rather have what I need than what I want. Because my needs and my wants are flawed at times or skewed from a lack of a bigger perspective or bigger picture. So I have to trust the creator, the person who created me, and yield to that one and say, you created me. You know my ins and outs. You know how I'm wired. You know the broken pieces of me that I may have yet to even address or know of, and the healed pieces of me. And so I trust you enough to know the kind of partner, kind of spouse that I need. So I trust you in this process as well. And I've learned I don't pick them well. Okay, I don't pick them well. And that's no shade to any past relationships. I just don't pick them well. So, in coming to that understanding, I had to say, Lord, well, you have to show me because, honey, I'm tired. A girl is tired. Now, for my people that are in the process of, getting married or has found their special someone, listen, I have a special code for you all in the link below. You all can rent this space on discount for the month of February. All February long, okay? Unless I change my mind. I shouldn't, but be sure to book in advance and quickly. Because this space, honestly, is just gorgeous and cute and honestly awesome for couples. So I don't want you to miss out on it. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Comment below. I would love to hear from you and what you have to say. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Lou Taylor. Listen, I want y'all to go and grow. I hope you enjoy this. Love y'all. Bye.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, whether it helped encourage or entertain you. And no, this is no way a shoot my shot kind of video. I just wanted to share my perspective with my single family as we grow and go in life and as we do it with people and relationships. So be blessed, and I will catch you in the next video. Be sure you've subscribed.